Today's episode is going to challenge you on how you're thinking about leads, content, and what actually creates sales in your business. Because here's the thing, if you've been thinking that you need more leads, more visibility, or more content to get clients, this conversation is going to flip that on its head. I'm sitting down with my very good friend, Jenna Larson, co-founder of the organic sales system, GroupTrack CRM, Anna AI, and Yello. I love all of those names. She helps businesses attract more clients from social media with her expertise in using powerful tools and tactics. Jenna has helped numerous clients achieve remarkable success in their social media marketing efforts. As a seasoned coach herself, Jenna is committed to empowering her clients with the knowledge and skills they need to grow their businesses. She is known for her client-centric approach, which focuses on building authentic relationships with customers and providing exceptional value through social media engagement. And we're diving into why most businesses don't actually have a lead problem. They have a conversation problem. And if you're building a personal brand right now, this is one of the most important shifts you can make because people don't buy from content. They buy from human connection. All right, let's get into it. You're listening to the Secret Marketing Diary of Personal Brands, where being the face of your business gets to be powerful, profitable, and unfiltered. Okay, Jenna, I am so super excited for this conversation today because number one, I've known you for quite some time virtually, and I can't believe we haven't met like in person yet.
Have we not?
I know. No, we haven't. It's crazy. And we've known each other for like 6 years, I
Yeah.
think.
Well,
Yeah.
I feel like what happens is you send me pictures of you hanging out with other people that I know, and I get really jealous. And that's how it goes.
I know. But I think this conversation is going to be super fun because I've been in your world for a while. I've been using your tools for quite some time, like GroupTrack for one. That's like a daily ritual tool that myself and Rachel from my team use every single day. I really cannot function without it at this point. And then more recently, you have Anna AI, which I know we're going to talk a little bit about. I have some questions about that, and I'm not going to exaggerate. In just like a few months since Anna's been out,
Yeah.
it has completely revolutionized my business and the way that I operate. I've shared some wins with you of how we're using that tool. So I'm loving it. And now you have Yello.
Yeah. I know. We're out of control.
I know. And I'm excited to play with that one more because it feels like that tool is really built for this conversation that we're going to have right now, which is relationship building, collaborations, and it just makes marketing so much more fun and easy. So you've built all of these tools around the concept of connection and conversation. You are the queen of it, which is why I'm super excited to have you on. So let's start here. Talk to me a little bit about when you, and I've heard you say this over and over again, and I love that you say this because this is like something that I tried to ingrain in my clients' brains, is that you don't typically have a lead problem, you have a conversation problem.
Oh my gosh.
So I
Yes.
want to start there.
Yeah. No, 100%. Right. I think it's so odd because everybody thinks that's what they need. Right. If I ask people, like, what is the number one thing stopping you from making more money in your business? They're like, I don't have enough leads. And I'm like, great, let's take a look. And typically what we'll do is we'll pull up their Instagram, their Facebook, LinkedIn, Facebook group, even email. I mean, it doesn't matter. Right. But
Right.
it's so crazy because you have people who have taken the time, the effort, and the mental intention to put a finger up, grab a mouse, and click a button that says, I'm interested in learning more. And it is wild because what's happening is that nobody is taking the time to then have conversations with those people. Why did you follow? What made you want to comment on my post to learn more? Right. And so,
Right.
no, most people do not have a lead problem. What they have is a follow-up problem, right? They're not actually getting into conversations. And I think typically what happens is if we give them their wish and say, great, sure, let's get you more leads, what simply happens is it's a magnifying glass on the actual problem, which is that you're not talking to people and converting. And so I know like the typical thing is like, oh, I just need to throw ads at it, right? But again, if you can't convert the people that are already in your world who have already willingly opted in, then what makes you think you're going to be able to convert people that have no clue what you do, who you are, don't trust you at all, especially in this world of AI where trust is really low? What makes you think that we could do that? So,
Yeah.
anyways, long answer to the
Yeah.
short question of do they have a lead problem? It's like my number one thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And, it's interesting because on our end as an agency, we run lead conversion ads for clients. And there's two parts to this. We'll either run the lead ads for them, they get tons of leads, and then we will also do the rest of the follow up, the follow through, right?
Right.
And then there's certain clients that are like, no, we just want you to get us the leads and we'll handle the follow through. And we get them tons of leads. And then they're just sitting there and they're like, nothing converted. And we go and we look into their system where the leak is, and the leak is always
Yep.
just that nobody's following up.
Yeah.
Or if they
Or
are, they're just following up once
yeah. No,
and that's
it's
it.
wild. I
Yeah.
always use this analogy, right? Like, if somebody walks into your home and you're
Mhm.
like, drinks are over there, go ahead and make yourself one. Typically people are like, "Oh, no, thank you. I'll just take a water," because nobody's going to help themselves, right? And I
Right.
think in marketing we think they opted in, oh, they saw our post, oh, they know what it is that we do, they'll help themselves. But the reality is they will not. It is our job. We are the one who is the marketer, the distributor. Their job, the prospect, is to decide if they want to take you up on it. And so if we are just like making the offer and telling them to go make a margarita themselves, it's
Right.
literally not going to happen and we wonder why. So it's very frustrating.
Yeah. And this is a great tie in to, as the expert, as the leader in your business, you as the personal brand. So
Yes.
I want to kind of dive into that a little bit for a second, because this is where I think it also really matters. Would you agree that starting conversations is actually a form of leadership,
Oh yes, a one
right?
million percent.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And people follow leaders, not followers.
Yeah.
So they
Yep.
forget about that.
Yeah. And it's super weird because I think too in this world, especially like in newer coaches and marketers and stuff, like they
Mhm.
think they're too good for it. Like, oh, that's not my job. Someone else should do that. I need a VA to do that. I need, right. They're like above it. And I'm like, this is everything in your business. If you're not
Yeah.
actually talking to people and having these conversations, you have nothing. And so, we've had $1 million business for years. You still find me in the DMs talking to people, and I will never stop. There are certain platforms like LinkedIn. I'm like, well, I hate that platform.
Yeah.
I let my VA do that one. I'm like, you got that, girl. But let's be honest, it's a bunch of VAs talking to VAs or bots
Yeah.
talking to bots. It's actually worth nothing, in my opinion. But,
Yeah.
there are real, true, platforms where it is the actual CEO where it should be, having conversations. And not to say that you cannot, offload some of it. There's opportunity for that. But 100%, I do think, I've been telling people this a lot lately because this has been a really big shift for me. I think, if I were to ask a lot of people, probably in your market as well as mine,
Mhm.
what's your job? They're going to say, I'm a coach, I'm a healer, I'm a blah, blah, blah. Like whatever they do is their profession, right? And I'm like, okay, but here's the reality. If you don't start marketing and distributing, you have no one to heal, you have no one to coach. So you need to stop calling yourself a coach. What you need to
Yeah.
be is a marketer who distributes coaching, healing, products, whatever it is. And so the problem is if we wake up and we're like, oh, I'm a coach, then your day is going to follow as suit. It's going to be like, I need to figure out, just fulfillment, which is great. But again, if you have no one to fulfill the
Right.
coaching and healing to, you are broke, is what you are. So we need to make the shift to say, I'm not a coach. I
Mhm.
am a marketer who distributes coaching. And when we wake up with that intention, your job is very different every day. We need to get content out. We need to be talking to humans. We need to distribute
Mhm.
ourselves, our brand, our leadership as much as humanly possible.
Yeah, I love that. Yep. You basically summed it up. And everyone needs to do this.
Literally.
It's so annoying when when I see people complain, like complain, nobody's reaching out to me, nobody's buying from me, nobody's clicking here, nobody's clicking there. And I go and I ask, okay, well, what are you doing
Whose job
to
is it?
move that experience somewhere? And they're not even creating an experience.
Yeah, 100%. And in our coaching programs, I'm always like, okay, in the chat, let me know, is it you doing the lead gen, the conversations and the sales, or is it a team member? And a lot of, our clients are solopreneurs. And so they'll say me. Some of them will say, yeah, we've got a team member. And I'm like, okay, great.
Yeah.
If you are the one who's doing the sales, I need to be super clear. Go get your resume really quick. You are the head of sales. And they're like, what? No, I'm a yoga teacher. I am a holistic wellness person. I'm like, no, you are not. Your number one job is sales. And so let's
Yeah.
look at it. What is the job description of a salesperson? We have how many outreaches, how many connections, how many new leads are added to the pipeline? Are you moving them through the pipeline and so forth? How many offers are you making? And so we go through this process of saying, what does that actually look like to be the salesperson? Because P.S., you are it. We just
Yeah.
gave you a promotion with no pay, by the way. It's pay for performance.
Right.
And so the joke is, would you get fired today?
Hmm.
And the majority of people are like, yep, I'd be fired. Right. And
Yeah.
so every week in our coaching call, it's like, would Jenna fire you? And the answer is yes or no. And again, I think to your point, right? It is not the job of your prospect to click the button, to follow out the form, to book the call, to do the things. That is your job, unless
Right.
you hire someone to do it, which I recommend if you're going to be doing, ads and stuff. Hire Gina to also do the follow through because, like you said, you can get all the leads you want. You probably have all the leads you need. You're just not doing the
Yeah.
actual work required to convert them.
Yep. Yeah. And one piece of this too that people don't realize is when you are having these conversations through DMs, it's actually helping you get seen more.
Oh, 100%.
So there is like that, a kind of secret hack that people don't really understand, but the
Right.
algorithm loves you for it.
100%, right? Now, if we think my job is to distribute, that is
Mm.
my job, is to get my brand, my face, my name in your notifications, in your DMs, everywhere. I'm sending you a friend request. I'm following you. I'm engaging on your page. I am DMing you. For example, like this is one of the easiest little hacks, right? Let's say you do a piece of content and you're like, damn, I really wish this could get in front of the eyeballs of the people I want to sell to, right? Well, what do? We're like, oh, the algorithm didn't put it to anybody and you're all mad because you
Right.
got 200 views. Okay, well, here's what you do. Grab the permalink, DM it to people. Hey,
Yeah.
I just dropped this piece of content. I thought you might enjoy it because you're looking for XYZ. Let me know what you think. That is the easiest way to distribute
Mhm.
yourself and your brand to more people, right? But again, oh, the algorithm. I'm sorry, but my motto is like, we wait for no one. That is everything we do in our business every single day. I don't wait for the prospect to do anything. I'm like, it is my job, not theirs. And
Yep.
so I'm going to grade myself on did I do the things required to get the sale? Yes or no? It's that easy.
Yeah. So, what are your thoughts about this and how do you guys handle this in your own business? So, for us, for example, I love blocking time. And I've learned a lot of this from you too, for sure. Taking 15 minutes and choosing 5 to 10 people a day
Yeah.
to reach out to personally. What would you say to someone that's trying to, I guess, kind of create this process for themselves?
Yeah, absolutely. So we do something that's called the Daily Five, and it is a non negotiable for both my team and any of our users. I mean, when I say users of the tool, so part of GroupTrack, for those of you guys who don't know, it's a social media follow up system, right? And basically, you can go all over social media, find people that you want to, engage with and potentially sell to, put them in the follow up system, right? But here's the deal. Putting them in a follow up system does not make you sales, right? Having
Right.
conversations does. And so, what we know is that we have to have a daily routine or you won't do it, you won't make money. And then,
Hmm.
again, the algorithm will be the scapegoat. So here's what we do. We say these are the non negotiables if you want to make money, whether you use our tool or not. Let's be clear, right?
Right.
So daily five, and actually, we're actually thinking of making it the daily six since I've
Hmm.
had this like massive epiphany that my job is distribution. Because I'll just be honest before I give you the daily five, I've always been like, you don't need to go viral. That's so dumb. And I still feel that way to an extent because I don't want to go viral because I don't want just random views. Like that is
Right.
not a metric of success. But I do believe I need to go up the funnel more with my content to get the right more eyeballs, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I like my happy place is conversion. I want to
Mhm.
go straight to the human. Hey, do you want this? Great, here it is, and make the sale. But obviously, if I can do that at a bigger scale, I make more
Mhm.
money. So that is just something that I'm working on is like, okay, we got to go up the funnel a little bit. So, number one in the daily five now is content. So
Yeah.
I sit down every day. And one of the things that I do, which I know we're going to talk about Anna AI just a tiny bit. So I'll preface just a bit here.
Mhm.
Anna AI is a tool where you can literally go and have it read the words that the internet is saying. And the reality is everything you could ever need to know about what offer to make, what words to use to sell it, how to get into the DMs, everything is already written on the internet. And what happens is we, as the experts in our field, we want to build what
Yeah.
makes us feel good and what we want to talk about and all the things. And that's just stupid, because if you don't talk about what people want and if you don't sell what people want, you're not going to make any money. So we
Right.
built this tool to go basically read the social streets. And I'm telling you, if you guys have not been in Reddit, holy moly, it is the greatest thing ever invented. So Reddit is basically where the internet goes to complain. It is a free platform. And here's the beautiful thing about it, right? When you think about it, Instagram is the highlight reel. No one is being truthful over there. Then you got
Right.
LinkedIn, which is the bots talking to bots. So that's waste. That's literally, it's just AI on LinkedIn. Facebook, you've got a little mix, right? You still have some real people, you still have some sales. Like, I still love Facebook despite all the things that, restrictions and all the things that Mark's doing.
Yeah.
Substack, amazing in terms of like actual human connection.
Yeah.
But if you go to Reddit, it's where all of your ideal clients are going to complain about
Mhm.
everything. And here's the beautiful part, it's anonymous. So if I'm a digital marketer, I can go into a Reddit community where it's called digital marketing, and everything, every complaint about every other course they've bought, coaching program, all the things. I wish I could just find someone who would teach me this.
Right.
Okay, right? So what we did is we built Anna AI, and what she does is she can go into those communities, Reddit, Facebook group, etc., and read the comments, summarize it, and then tell you, these are the pain points, these are the words they're using, this is exactly what you should do. So now that we have Anna, our first thing that we do in our daily 5/6
Mhm.
is we build content based on the words of our customer, right? So we'll do a quick little boop. It takes about 20 seconds to read all of the comments in a Reddit group. It'll give us everything that's trending, all of the words that we need to use. We take that, we make a social post. Okay. Then our job is to distribute it, right?
Mhm.
So we'll go put it on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Substack. Like, we literally will just put it everywhere.
Yeah.
Now, if we're being lazy, we don't even change it. We're just like copy, paste, 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 paste. If we want to get a little extra while I'm in AI, I'm like, make it a version for Facebook. Now
Right.
make a version for Substack. Now make a version for LinkedIn. You know what I mean? So we can get a little creative. But again, I'm lazy. I don't like to do too much. So it depends on the day there. Okay.
Yeah.
But we
Same.
distribute the content. Okay. And then email as well. If we want to, we'll also DM some people that as well. So that's the first thing we do every day. The second thing that we're going to do after that is we're going to go work our actual inbox. So what we
Mhm.
do is Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever social platform you're using, we go look at the actual inbound DMs. These are people who have chosen to DM you. These are such hot leads. If we are not doing this and making this a priority, I don't know what we're doing, right? So we
Yeah.
go into our inbox, we work those people, which means we go to their profile and we engage with their profile. Then we answer them. Then we
Mhm.
put them wherever we need to in our social media CRM, GroupTrack, and then we set a task for the next time we're going to reach out to them. Because whose job is it? Our job. It is not
Right.
the job of the prospect to reach out again.
To follow
This,
up with you.
yeah, yeah.
Right.
But guess what? The world thinks it is, right? So
Yeah.
we set the task to nudge the conversation again later because we know we're going to forget. Okay.
Yep.
So we work our inbounds. Okay. So whatever platform we're doing, we're going to go work on. Then what we're going to do is work our new people. So these are the new leads. Did we get any new Facebook followers, Instagram followers, Substack
Mhm.
followers, whatever it may be that you're focused on? Who are those new people, right? Here's the thing we talked about earlier, right? Like, oh, I need more leads for the love, right? If you even have 300 followers on Instagram, have you reached
Yeah.
out to them, right? It's people,
Imagine being
click
in
your
a
finger.
room of 300 people. It's the same room. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. And I think that's the thing, right? We treat all social media like it's the human experience. We pretend we're not online. If I
Right.
was in a room with 300 people, I would say hello. Thank you for
I'd try
following
to
me.
get to almost everyone in that room if I could. Yeah.
100%. And what we would be doing is not trying to sell to them.
Mhm.
I'm thinking, what in what way can we collaborate so I
Yeah.
can get in front of your audience? I don't want to sell individually, right? I'm thinking, so like what we're doing right now. I'm going to get
Mhm.
this podcast in front of my audience. You're going to put it in front of, right? There is mutual benefit to us coming and sharing our connection.
Right.
So we should replay this on Substack just now that I remembered, and we should do a live.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, all
Yeah.
out of control. Yeah.
I'm loving it over there, by the way. Thank you
So
for
good.
encouraging to get over there.
Yeah. So we need to engage with every single person who follow us and comments and engages on our social, right? So we
Mhm.
work those people in the DMs. Thank you for following us. Most people do to learn X, whatever strategy we teach. We're really excited to support you with all the craziness of the algorithm. Please let me know you got this. You guys, people will respond. It's actually crazy. In fact,
Yeah.
my 15-year-old sat with me this Friday. He worked my Instagram leads. Number one, he booked a call with a huge influencer,
I
which I
saw
was like,
that. Oh my
so
gosh.
rad. Yeah. And then it was so fun because he sent his outbounds. And then all weekend, it was like, I got it. I got the message. Thank you. And I was like,
That's
this is
awesome.
so cool, right? Like, my 15-year-old can do it. You could do it. Okay.
Right.
So when we work those new people, Facebook group, whatever, LinkedIn, whatever, we set the task for the next outbound because we're going to forget. Right. And it's our job, not theirs. So once we work those people, the third, now fourth thing that we do is we work our tasks that are due that day. Because as you
Mhm.
recall, we've been setting tasks so we don't forget. Now that we have tasks due, we're just going to go work those people. So we open up their social profile, we engage on it. We want to distribute our brand. All of a sudden, Jenna's engaging on my page. Oh, I got a notification. Wait, who's that Jenna girl again?
Yeah.
Yeah. And like you said, Gina, right? It's an algorithm hack, right? The algorithm's like, you like Jenna. I'm going to show you more of her stuff, right?
Right.
So it all makes sense and it works, right? And that's how we do get around a lot of those restrictions. Facebook's like, well, they like Jenna, so I'll let those DMs go through. So then we work our tasks. And then the next thing on the list, which is our four, now five, because we're adding
Yep.
that extra one at the top, is that we're going to make offers. And that's a big one and a
Yep.
lot that we miss, right?
That's
And
the one that gets skipped the most.
100%, unless you're me, because that's all I want to do all day. Like, again, I
Mhm.
have to get myself out of the conversion sometimes. And I'm really like, oh, yeah, you should talk to people about other things too, right? But I'm a maniac at making offers, which is why we make money, you know? And again, if you now take on this role, right? Like we talked about in the beginning, you're not a coach anymore. You are the head of sales. If
Right.
I were to ask you each day as your boss, how many offers did you make? And you tell me 10, you're fired. You're 100% fired. Like there's not even a question, right? And so again, the reality is if you're a solopreneur, you have three choices. You hire someone like Gina that she's going to do the lead gen and then follow up for you,
Mhm.
or you do the lead gen, then you are the salesperson, or step three, you have somebody that is working the DMs and the sales stuff for you, right? Like not an agency, maybe you have a VA, something like that. But those are your only options, like a reality, right?
Yeah.
So we've got to make offers. And then the last thing is, because we have GroupTrack, we have some cool automations. And so it would be like, make sure you run those each day, right? But that is the non negotiable daily 5/6. And here's the first thing we make you do when you work with us, or whether you do or not, put it on a freaking calendar. Because if it's not on
Mhm.
your calendar as blocked off time, you're just not going to do it. So the other thing that we do, which is should be a non-negotiable, but it's not, and actually maybe we need to have the daily 7 and just make it easy, would be to reach out for collaboration
Yeah.
opportunities. Because like I said, I would rather, like if I'm going to get into the DMs with you, I'm not like, how can I sell to you? My
Mhm.
first question is, I'd love to see how we can collaborate. And it's genuine. I literally want to know, can I support you? Can you support me? What can we do together? And if it doesn't make sense, okay, maybe I'll try to sell you something, right? But
Right.
the reality is, like Gina, if you put Group Track and Anna in front of your community,
Mhm.
I'm like, this is amazing. Now I'm distributed to people who would have never known about me without this amazing opportunity, right? And so this is kind of the strategy we call, the yellow car parking lot. And the reality is, right? So if you think about your ideal client as a yellow car, you're like, well, I don't really see yellow cars very often. But if all of a sudden there's a dollar sign over it, you're like, wait, yellow car, right?
Yeah.
And so you can either sit on the highway and hope and pray yellow cars drive by, or you could say, well, let's get strategic and go where the yellow cars park, right? So I
Mhm.
know Gina's audience is full of my ideal client. She's got a whole yellow car parking lot for me, right? So
Yep.
in terms of distribution, because remember, that's my new frame of reference. How do I distribute as much as possible? This is absolutely the fastest way to do it, right? Which is why we created Yellow, right? So I know you talked
Mhm.
about Yellow a little bit ago. Yellow is our new tool where we're like, look, This is what people actually need to be doing is collaborating. But the thing they get stuck on is like, well, who do I collaborate? How do I even reach out? Are they even going to be wanting to work with me? And then what do we collaborate about? And what do I say? And all the things. And so we created this place where you can just go and it's full of all people like Gina, like me, who actually want to collaborate because we get it. We
Yep.
understand that this is the fastest, best way to grow. It matches you with AI on who would be a good collaboration. It tells you exactly what to collaborate on. It even helps you message the person with a thoughtful DM on how you can do it. So
It's so
this would
cool.
be the thing. Yeah.
It's so fun to play with.
Right.
It is. It's like a matchmatching site,
We
but for
joke, we're like, it's
collaboration.
Tinder without the sleaze. It's like Tinder for business owners without the sleaze. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Because it
Yeah.
literally matches you. It'll be like, Jenna and Gina are 95% compatible. And here's the
Right?
thing. It's so fun.
Love, love, love. Oh my gosh. Thank you for spilling like literally your entire SOP
That is
for
actually
the
it.
conversation.
Yeah. No, literally, that's what we do. That's what we teach.
Yeah.
And we just, I mean, that's the reality is that sometimes people just won't do it. And so
Yep.
our job is to literally lovingly force them to.
Yeah. And when they finally do, because we do this too with our own mastermind clients, they're like, because at first they're very defiant over
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Well, I don't want to bother people, or I don't want to sound salesy, or I don't want to sound this. And then, the interesting thing is that when you, in a very loving way, force them to do it, like we will do some of what you just shared, we'll
Yeah.
do it live on our calls
Yes.
with them, just like you
Same.
do in your
Yep.
program.
Yep.
And they're so excited when they get the DM response back. I mean, I had a client who she was so like adamant, no, I'm not going to do DMs. I'm not going to do DMs. And I said, please. So we had her do a hand raising post
Yep.
inside of another community. So she was leveraging their audience.
Yep.
And she never wanted to do one before. And I was like, I'm telling you, this is going to change the amount of conversations that you're going to be able to have. Within like minutes, she had, I don't know, it was like 70 something people responding to
Yeah.
that post. And I was like, okay, so now we have to DM them.
Yeah.
And that was like such a hard push. But finally, when she did it, during one of those sessions that we did that, she made a $3,000 sale.
Yes.
She was like so shocked. I'm
Yeah.
like, now imagine if you do this daily.
Daily. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And I think there is, again, people came into the business thinking, well, I'm a holistic coach. I'm a
Mhm.
nutrition coach. No,
Yeah.
you're not, unless you decide you're going to hire a sales team. Otherwise, your number one job is you are a marketing agency, a sales agency that
Mhm.
distributes holistic coaching. You
Right.
don't get that opportunity to be a coach unless you distribute enough to have clients to coach. And
Yeah.
so if you wake up with that mentality, like, okay, my job is to distribute, you're going to show up a lot different and you're going to have a lot different results.
Right. So you shared a little bit about like scaling, right? In this conversation, but what are your thoughts are because obviously there's so much AI and a lot of it we love,
Yep.
right? We use these tools that are helpful to us, but why do you think people are craving real human connection now more than ever? And why us as marketers need to be paying attention to this
Yeah.
now more than ever?
Oh my gosh. I think that I went in church the other day. They were talking about how this is the most like you have the most connection to the world you could ever have ever in history with social
Yeah.
media and all these things. You have this many followers, this many friends, all the things. And it is the most lonely generation or time we've ever experienced.
Mhm.
And that is really, really sad. And I think in this, environment where AI, it's like every other post is like, oh, I just did my entire job with AI. All of my DMs are automated. And I'm just like, I don't want to talk to a bot. I don't. And I think because the world is so disconnected, I think even more people are craving it. And
Mhm.
I think we need to get really clear. And I learned this from Kelly Roach. She was talking about how, in the next year, if everybody in our space starts using AI and then
Mhm.
all the DMs are worked by AI, all the posts are automated with AI, who do you think you're going to be running ads to? Hi, bots. Is that what you want? And do
Mhm.
you think those people are going to win? Think about marketing spend.
Mhm.
That is insane. And honestly, that I already feel it with LinkedIn. And if I
Yeah.
look at LinkedIn and I'm like, okay, this is the potential future for other places, we are screwed. And so I believe more than anything, all these AI people are very excited. And yeah, it's exciting to automate some of your business and, do some really cool things. But I've always felt very strongly that AI, automation, software of any kind should be used to amplify your voice, not replace
Mhm.
you. And we've gotten so much pressure over the years to like automate DMs and do the work for you and all these things.
Yeah.
We've always taken a very hard no stance on it. And I'm going to be honest, our revenue has dipped because of it. I do believe that is true. I think there are people that are like, no, I'd rather go use, a tool that will just do it for me.
Yeah.
I will tell you, I was on Instagram with someone the other day who I know. And I messaged her on Instagram and got a message back. And I'm starting to talk and start to realize I'm like, wait a minute.
That it's a bot.
This is a bot. And so I wrote back, I was like, "Hey, really quick, is this a bot?" Like, and I felt awkward asking because I didn't want to offend her if it really was her.
Yeah.
I'm like, maybe she's just very articulate. So, because I'm like, minor typos, you are talking to Jenna. There is a typo in every other word. We don't even know what it says half the time.
Right.
So I said to her, like, hey, is this a bot? And she's like, no, of course not. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, well, I feel like an idiot. So we keep talking, keep talking. I'm like, girl, there is an emoji in every beginning sentence. And the cadence felt weird. And I'm like, okay. So then I was like, hey, remember when we were talking about frogs? Like I just made something completely obscure because I was like, oh, let's see what we got. But she's like, oh, yeah, the frogs. Absolutely, Jenna. And I was like, okay, this is ridiculous. I was like, girl, I'm going to be honest. Like, this feels yucky. This is an AI, and you just told me you weren't. And then it was like, oh, you caught me. Sorry. Instant brand ruin between
Yeah.
you and that person. First of all, you want to use a bot. Then when I ask you if you are, you lie.
Right.
In no way will I ever work with that brand. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. Okay, let's use a bot, but say we are, right?
Mm.
And so, yeah, I think that in this world, that's what the experience is going to start being. Why would anyone respond if you
Right.
know it's just AI? Like I don't have time. Are you kidding me? But it is
Yeah.
such. I think it's going to be so vital. I think the number one thing that people are going to need to do is go live, and that's where I'm loving Substack
Mm.
as well. So I don't know, Gina, if you've gone live over there, but it's wild. So I'll just give you a little example, right? So I have, I don't know, 8,000 followers on Facebook, probably, yeah, 6,000 in my Facebook group. And if I go live unannounced, like I literally just click the button, go, I might have 10, 15. If I'm really lucky, 30 people show up,
Yeah.
maybe. And that's probably if I've done an email, right?
Right.
On Substack, I have like 170 followers. I went live unannounced and I had 6 people show up for the entire live. And I was like, hold on, 6 divided by 175. I don't know what math is,
Very cool.
but whoa,
Yeah.
like the ratio of, right?
Yeah.
And so that's where I'm doubling down. I'm going to show up where people want to actually connect and be human, and I think the whole
Mhm.
world is craving that right now. And as you know, because I lovingly forced you over to Substack, every other comment on there is like, "My gosh, I'm actually talking humans. I feel
Yeah.
so good. It doesn't feel noisy. I feel like I can be myself, It's just very different."
And you're actually connecting. I just like, for me, I feel like I'm connecting with people that I have been somewhat connected to, like over on Facebook, but now they're actually seeing my content.
Yeah. Yeah, because 'cause they're not
So
now.
the algorithm is great over there.
Yep.
And I have not gone live yet, but I definitely will be because I go live every week.
Yeah.
So I'm going to shift my schedule around to go live over there. I'm excited to. I'll
Yeah.
be doing that when I get back from vacation. But
It's really fun
yeah.
too because once you go live, they email you a full thing with all the assets from the live.
Oh
Like,
wow.
oh, it's
Okay.
wild. Like, they give you little shorts, they give you the full replay, they give you everything. It's crazy.
Okay. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah,
Love it.
yeah.
Cool. All right. So before we wrap up, I have this little tradition here where we want to give the audience just one, if you could choose one secret, and you've already shared a whole bunch of them, but so one more that you feel most people overlook when it comes to building a personal brand that converts using real human conversations. What would be that secret that you would give us?
I think we probably alluded to it earlier, but I
Yeah.
think it's the fact that you don't need a huge audience to make a lot of money. You need the right audience and you need to have conversations with them. So I'll give a great example. I had a girl She came to me in tears. She quit her job. She invested all this money in a huge program. I think it was like 36,000. She made $0. She's on the phone
Mm.
with me, like full sob. I made no money. I don't know what to do. I said, okay, I got you. And mind you, this girl was not paying me anything. In fact, I don't think she ever paid me. I don't even think she ever became my client, which this girl should. Because here's what happened. I was like, I got you. How many, friends do you have on Facebook? I don't know how many she had. I said, okay, I want you to spend the next couple days. All I want you to do is send this DM to these people. And it was very simple. Hey, thank you so much for following me on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, fill in the blank. I'm not
Mhm.
sure if you're aware, but I help people do this. This month, we're waiving, the fee on a call to help map out the best next steps to get X result. And here's the clutch. Do you know anyone who would benefit? Not do you want it? Do you know
Right.
anyone who would benefit? And so I said, I want you to just send that DM to as many people as you can per day. And so she, 30 days later, came to me and she had collected $10,000. And I was like, okay, which is so funny. Like now that I'm like, this girl never even hired me, right? But like she sure won. Let's just be clear, right? But that's it, right? Like I don't have that many followers. And a lot of times people argue with me, like, there's no way you've, collected, all the money that we do without ads and all the things. And I'm like, it's because I
Mhm.
talk to people all day.
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest thing. Like, people, when they come to GroupTrack, they're like, well, how many hours do I have to spend doing it a day? And I'm like, I think that's the wrong question to ask.
Right.
I think the right question is, how much time should I spend connecting with potential buyers and
Mhm.
potential partners per day? And use GroupTrack if you want to make it faster, easier, better, more streamlined, or don't. That's not the point. It's how much time should I spend doing the things that I know will actually move my business forward? And to me, that's a minimum of an hour, an hour for the
Yeah.
daily 5. And then I like to tack on and do at least 30 minutes talking about partnerships in particular,
Mhm.
like where my intention is for partnerships. So, I pull up Yello and that's where I do that. So I would say that's the biggest key. I think everybody's so focused on like, oh, I need a ton of followers. And yes, I'm shifting into that model of like, okay, we want to distribute more, but it's not followers and views for the sake of all followers and views.
Right.
It's the right ones. So that would
So good. Thank you. Thank you. I know you're going to be sharing a couple things, right, with our audience. One is a message template
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
them
we
to
have
use.
our chat templates that help us collect all the money we do in the DM. So it's really just
Yeah.
a nice, we've got openers, closers, or what am I trying to say? Invitations to events, all sorts
Mhm.
of things inside that you guys can grab.
And I use that actually. It's really great. And we're going to also share the link to Anna AI as well.
Yay!
So look out for that. Thank you, Jenna. This was so fun. And we have to do something like this over on Substack.
Yes, 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 yes.
We
Okay,
need to
so we're
plan
gonna
that.
get that scheduled immediately. I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All
Thank you so
right.
much.
Thank you.
All right, talk
Bye,
soon.
guys.
Bye, guys.
You're listening to the secret marketing diary of personal brands, where being the face of your business gets to be powerful, profitable, and unfiltered.